The first challenge you have is from within. That is the biggest challenge of any artist. Art in itself puts the artist in a very vulnerable place. You're supposed to create something original that the world has never seen before. Well, that means it hasn't been market tested. You have put your energies into an endeavor that has not been market tested. What if people don't like it?
True.
That is a fear that is at the back of every artist's creation. So the first challenge is to fight that inner fear. The fear that you will end up a starving artist for daring to stand out and daring to speak your mind and daring not to copy others. So once you can surmount that and have the courage to be yourself, half the job is done. If you want to be commissioned to do work that you love to make, then make work that you love and put it out there. Do not wait for people to commission you before you work. Just keep working, keep expressing yourself and let the world see your expression. And then they would say, this guy, the way he's telling this story is the way I want him to tell my story. But if you put nothing out there and you always wait for people to come and tell you how they want you to tell their story, then you don't have a voice. An artist without a voice is just an artisan.
Wow, an artist without a voice is just an artisan.
Yeah, you're a painter. You come and paint the wall. Can you paint my wall green? You paint it green. Can't say you're an artist. There is no personality in the paint work. Maybe it's neat. Yeah, it's a good artisan. It's a good painter. When you make an image and people love it so much, beware of that image. Move away from it. Find something else.
Not you will remain there.
You will remain there, and they'll catch up with you. The crowd, the mob will catch up with you, and they will trample you. There is no competition. People make that mistake. Once an artist discovers himself, then there is only one of him.
That's true.
There is only competition when you're copying others. You have not exposed the true self.
Wow.
So you do not exist yet until you discover yourself. You cannot practice your copyright to your painting you've created if you don't have a copy of your painting. You see, when you create an artwork and you sell it to a collector, you've sold the physical artwork to the collector. But the copyright, based on the Copyright Act, still resides in you. That is the right to exploit a copy of your artwork. If you do not have a very high quality copy of that artwork, the owner, physical owner of the work, may deny you access to the original.
Welcome to another episode of Selahmeditate, where we dive into the thoughts of successful entrepreneurs and thought leaders so we can uncover the secrets to their success and also what is going to help you to achieve success in your own sphere of influence. Today, we have the rare privilege of hosting a true luminary in the world of photography and visual arts. I remain your host, Benzik. My guest is not only a celebrated photographer and visual artist, but his work has garnered international acclaim. If you're an artist or a content creator in any field of endeavor and you don't know my guest, you need to ask yourself some deep questions and ask yourself if you're really ready to get into the arts of creativity. But before I bring him in, I'm just going to give you just a brief about him so you can know who we have here. Kelechi Amadi-Obi is a renowned Nigerian photographer, artist, and publisher. He is celebrated for his exceptional contributions to contemporary African photography and visual arts. And here are some very key points I want you to note about him. Amadi-Obi is widely recognized for his artistic and commercial photography, which often features vivid portraits, fashion, beauty photography. His work is known for its striking use of color, composition, and lighting. Beyond photography, he is also a talented painter and artist. His background in law, he studied at the University of Nigeria and Nsukka, has also influenced his artistic perspective, providing a unique blend of creativity and precision. Kelechi Amadi-Obi is considered one of the pioneers of contemporary photography in Nigeria and has played a significant role in elevating African photography on the global stage. His work has been exhibited internationally and has garnered critical acclaim. He is the publisher and chief executive officer of Mania magazine, a publication that focuses on fashion, beauty, lifestyle, showcasing African creativity and talent. Over the years, Amadi-Obi has received numerous awards and accolades for his contributions to the arts, both in Nigeria and internationally. Kelechi Amadi-Obi's work continues to inspire many in the fields of photography and visual arts, making him a key figure in contemporary African photography. Guys, I have a very powerful luminary beside me, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. Sir, it's a very privilege to...
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to have you here. Over the years, I've really admired your works and the things you do day by day. Each time I see your work, I sit down and ask myself the thoughts behind it. How does this man think? It really, I've been looking forward to a day like to sit down and just ask you some questions to see how you have gone far. You have been in this for decades now, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And I would like to know the background. How did you, I want to know your background story. How did it all start for you that you now transcend into art, to photography? I want to know the background, your background story.
Well, my background, I grew up in Mania, old Imo State, before I became Abia State. And my father was a judge, high court judge. My mom was an educationist. She was the headmistress of my primary school. And I grew up 7 siblings. It was a beautiful childhood, but I was obsessed with visual arts. I loved drawing a lot. I used to go to the state library, study books and art, and I couldn't stop drawing comic characters. I was obsessed with Marvel Comics. And so it was my passion. It was something that I realized from a very early age that I could draw, and that by expressing myself through visual arts, I could influence society. And they looked at my drawings, you know, and if I wanted to tell a story, I would tell it through, you know, a series of comic characters. And early in life, I realized the power of visual arts. By the time I went to secondary school, I continued. When it was time to study and go to university, well, I mean, Umuahia was quite an isolated, quiet city. It didn't have an art museum, didn't have an art school, had never met the practicing artists. So those characters I read about in the books about art in the library seemed to me like, you know, far removed characters. Leonardo da Vinci, Picasso, you know, Monet, you know, Degas, all these people. They were all like characters in a faraway land. In my house, there are 2 professions. It's either you're a lawyer or you're a doctor. In those days, my father explained it very simply. These are the only 2 professions. Somebody came to marry your daughter, and you ask, what do you do? They say you're a lawyer, I say good. If you're a doctor, I say good. If you say you're an engineer, I say, what did you engineer? You say you're an architect, they say, what did you build? And I thought, okay, I can go study law. And I put in for JAMB, and I passed, and I went to University of Nigeria, Enugu campus. And that was where I discovered, because Enugu was a much bigger city, a lot more cosmopolitan. It had the British Council, it had galleries, it had Bona Gallery. It had a group of artists called the Aka Group of Artists who were exhibiting every year. It had IMT, which had a very, very strong art department. University of Nigeria itself, the art department of University of Nigeria was in Nsukka, quite a few miles away from Enugu campus. So while studying law, I was exposed to the world of contemporary art. I realized that there were people actually living as artists. People like Bona Ezudo, people like Tayo Adenike, Ekwenchi, you know, Bioru Dechukwu. You know, these were like, they became my inspiration. I'd go to the exhibition and be in awe of them. But then I was studying law. Eventually I decided I was going to finish with law, but I was going to be an artist. 1993, I came to Lagos for law school and finished with law school, and I stayed in Lagos and started practicing as a painter. Yeah, that's a short form of my journey to art. Photography came a little later, early 2000s, year 2000 actually. I decided that, oh, I'm going to take this thing more serious. Photography came to me. I used to use the camera as a means of capturing reference materials for my paintings. And, gradually, people started looking at the reference materials themselves as finished artworks and started demanding that they want to buy. And then before I knew it, people started commissioning me to shoot for them. So before I knew it, I got invited to an exhibition, you know, of African contemporary photography in Mali, Bamako, Mali. Mali Biennale. And I went there. From there, I got invited to Milan to exhibit my work. From there, we formed a group called Depth of Field.
Wow.
Which is myself, Uche, James Siroha, T.Y. Bello, Amaizo Jekere, and then later Emeka and Zainab joined us. And we started exhibiting all over the world. We exhibited in Paris, we exhibited in Nuremberg, Germany. We exhibited in Brussels, we had an exhibition in New York, and then in South London Gallery. And that was how photography took off like a wildfire. I decided I was going to set up a studio, Kelechi Amadi-Obi Studios. But this was after 7 years of practicing as a full-time painting artist in the studio. I had a major exhibition in 1997 at the Russian Cultural Center. That was before the USSR broke up. So that's a short, quick anthology of my journey.
Okay, now I remember like some decades ago, before photography become what it is today, then if someone comes with his if I come to you and I said I want to marry your daughter and you ask me what do I do and I said I'm a photographer, they will say this man is not a serious person. Is he the photographer you want to marry? Photography was nothing, but you transformed photography to become what it is today. I remember those days that what photography was nothing within Africa, within Nigeria. You made it, you brought life to it. You made photography of value. You gave photography life. This present time, now whatever photographers are doing today, you paved the way. How did it come for you, that period when you started? Didn't you think of what people are going to say and things like that? What come to your mind before you?
Well, the truth is that one of the biggest problems we have, especially in this photography industry, is a lack of documentation. You know, there were other people before me. There were people like Don Baba, Boda Kimbi, Jide Adeni Jones. There were a lot of great photographers that had come. So there were all these other photographers also. I know that we had moved from all the different iterations of photography, from film to digital to now internet to AI. Yeah. You understand?
Yes.
Why I seem to stand out is that all through those different phases, I have remained, you know, and tried to, you know, innovate and stay relevant. But I would not agree that I was the pioneer. There were so many people before us. We need to actually bring out the compendium of these people because they are a bit like unsung heroes in our history. But we found people here. You understand? You know, they were top level portrait artists.
Wow.
Peter Obey also in VI, you know, in those days. So there were all these people. I mean, yes, we did contribute our a little quarter. I mean, I feel flattered when people talk about, you know, that the pioneer, but no, it can't be. Well, you know, what also happened was that I became a publisher.
Okay.
You know, becoming a publisher. I also saw, you know, even in those days, you know, when you publish your work, I've always been had great admiration for some of the superstar photographers that they had in Europe. People like Mario Testino and Leibovitz, they're still photographing till today, you know. And what stood them out was not just their creativity. What stood them out was that they were published. Their works were in the hands of the ordinary people. So that is the thing, you know. I also noticed that somebody like Sumi Smart Cole used to shoot for, I think, Daily Times or so, or the Guardian, I'm not sure. And he had a weekly column, and that also put his photograph in the face of the public. So I decided to go for fashion photography and fashion editorial. My work started getting published in True Love magazine's fashion editorials. That put my work in the hands of everybody, and people started recognizing the name. That is how we were able to sell contemporary photography to the ordinary people. So I had that foresight that, look, all these people are published photographers. Let us start changing the look and feel of our superstars, the look and feel of our top entrepreneurs, the look and feel of our landscape, the look and feel of our real estate. You know, I found that there was a big disconnect from the true reality of life in Africa compared to the preponderance of imagery of Africa that was being propagated globally. And I thought that it did not augur well for our people, because it's so important how you see yourself. It is how you see yourself that determines how you treat yourself. It also determines what you demand of people and what sort of nonsense you will take from others. And how you see yourself is a function of also how somebody has shown you yourself. And in that department of first impressions, I say we are the priests at the altar of first impressions. It is the photographs that we take that then determine what people think or what people perceive of us, especially in this world of the World Wide Web. People first see your image before they see you.
That's true. That's true.
And I found that Africa was at the short end of the stick when it came to first impressions and any kind of impression at all.
Yeah.
And it's not a coincidence, and it didn't just happen by chance. It was deliberately engineered for the purpose of exploitation. It's something that has been set in motion. And it's going to take centuries for us to correct it. It is there in the subconscious of almost every African that there is something wrong with the black man.
True.
Which is a fallacy.
That's
so
true.
It behoves us, image makers, to show Africans and show our brethren that there is nothing wrong with us. That in fact, the melanin that we have is an advantage over those who don't.
That's true.
And that the black skin in itself is a strength. And that this continent is powerful beyond measure.
Yes.
As a result of just the sheer size, gargantuan size of the resources that are here, which is what we are being robbed of every day.
That's true.
But in order to rob our people, they need to be told that they are somehow at the lower end of human evolution, that you're not a fully evolved human being, and that the Caucasian is the fully evolved, which is a fallacy. We need to use imagery to change that perception. So I told people, I said, why do we complain about the image of Africa? Why will you come to a room and complain that people are telling lies about you? What happened to your voice? So we as image makers, we can tell a different story. When I came into the photography world, I found that our musicians were doing their album covers with pictures they took at a Wait and Get studio. You understand? I noticed that our magazine covers were, occupied by photographs that the editors collected from the album of the person they just interviewed. They just go to the album, collect the picture, scan it, and put on the cover. At that time, I was looking at this. We were just talking about like 20 or 30 years ago. Magazines like Vogue, Elle, GQ have already spent how many decades of excellence churning out extraordinary images of their own entrepreneurs, their stars, their best of their best. And the pictures that you see on the covers of those magazines are fantasies. They are not reality. That photograph of Beyonce that is on the cover of Vogue, which she has occupied up to 4 or 5 times. Each time you see a photograph of her, I am sure the clothes she's wearing is not from her wardrobe. Maybe the private jet she's stepping out from is not hers. The Ferrari that is in the background is not parked in her garage.
They just created
the lipstick that she's putting on was put on by a makeup artist. Everything was drawn, designed, engineered by the fashion editor, the creative editor, the photographer, and all you have seen is a world that could be possibilities, so that their people can dream. Wow,
true. Are there challenges you faced those early time that you started into photography, and how did you overcome them?
Challenges are the most important part of the journey. It is through challenges that you excel. It is by surmounting each challenge that then you earn
your place.
Your place. And there will always be challenges. And I dare say that the challenges that we face are not different from the challenges other people face in any part of the world. It's the same. We are even at an advantage as far as I'm concerned. Yes, people want to disrespect you. People don't want to pay you the right amount of money. Oh, NEPA has taken light. Oh, there is insecurity. Oh, there is traffic. There is rain. There is flood. These are things that happen anywhere and everywhere in the world. You understand?
True.
And each of these challenges provide you with an opportunity to fight and overcome. I usually tell people challenges are those things that help you in life. Imagine if somebody said to David, let me take you back in time. Replace Goliath with another boy your size. And you have that battle without much stress and fear. What do you think David would reply? He would say, God will punish you for trying to remove the source of my fame. It was the size of his challenge that brought him out and made him David.
That's true.
It was because Goliath seemed to be an impossibility. And the way he surmounted it, that created the David that we know today. So when people talk about challenges, I say, bring it on.
But are there ones that you overcome yourself in those early stages?
It's the first challenge you have is from within. Okay. That is the biggest challenge of any artist. Art in itself puts the artist in a very vulnerable place. You're supposed to create something original, right? That the world has never seen before. Well, that means it hasn't been market tested. So you have put your energies into an endeavor that has not been market tested. What if people don't like it?
True.
That is a fear that is at the back of every artist's creation. So the first challenge is to fight that inner fear. The fear that you will end up a starving artist for daring to stand out and daring to speak your mind and daring not to copy others. So once you can surmount that and have the courage to be yourself, half the job is done.
Wow. 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 That's true. Now, how has your law profession aid you in your work in photography as a photographer?
Absolutely. It's one of those things that I keep telling people. I mean, law is a profession that arms you with the rules of engagement of humanity.
That's the word.
Now, I mean, everybody must understand the law. They say ignorance of the law is no excuse.
No excuse.
And you can't say, oh, I didn't know there was such a law, so I broke it. No. You will go to jail.
You go to jail.
Which means everybody should be a lawyer. So understanding some, the rudimentaries of intellectual property and, copyright law and things like that put me in a good place to understand the different facets of intellectual property that I can extract from my creation and aid me to make a proper living. So law was actually the reason why I got into photography more seriously. Why? Because, you cannot practice your copyright to your painting you've created if you don't have a copy of your painting. You see, when you create an artwork and you sell it to a collector, you've sold the physical artwork to the collector. But the copyright, based on the Copyright Act, still resides in you. That is the right to exploit a copy of your artwork. If you do not have a very high quality copy of that artwork, the owner, physical owner of the work, may deny you access to the original.
That's exactly where I'm trying to get to. I'm trying. The question now is that when it comes to copyright, who has the original right to a work? Is it the client that engaged you, or you, the photographer?
Well, it's an interesting question. It's also a question that brings out a lot of controversies sometimes.
Yes. Based
on ignorance on one hand, and sometimes people are trying to be funny.
Yes.
The Copyright Act says that the person who creates the work owns the copyright. So if you're the photographer and you're the one that is clicking the shutter, the copyright belongs to you. Even if the camera does not belong to you, even if the shoot you're doing, you were paid for it, the copyright resides in you. That is the law. There is a caveat or an exception anyway. If you're under paid salary of an organization and you are employed as a photographer for that organization, the copyright resides in that organization. So press photographers who are on salary, photographers who are working in a studio who are paid a salary and shooting for the studio, the copyright belongs to the studio. That is the law.
Now, I had an encounter with someone that talked about the fact that once a client has paid you for your work and you've given it to them, that you have no right to put your imprint. No, photographers put some of their imprints. Yes. The client was arguing that you have to remove your imprint, that the work belongs to me. Your imprint cannot be there.
Okay, is it like to put a watermark?
Yeah, watermark
on the work.
Yes.
If you're doing a work for a client, you have to negotiate what they're using their work for. What they're paying you for is 1, your time, and 2, the right to use the images. That's what they're paying you for. Now, if you do not specify that, then it can become a point of contention. I don't know if you get what I mean.
Okay.
So the client has paid you. The law says, unless you, in writing, transfer your copyright in total to a third party, the copyright still belongs to you. Now, the client can say, but I paid you.
Yes.
Yes. So what you need to do is to say, look at the rights that I'm giving you.
Okay.
For the money you have paid me. So you come and you commission me to shoot your portrait. I still have the copyright, but I will have to say, you have the right to use these images for your personal use, for your promotion, maybe to promote your business. I don't know if you understand.
Yes, yes.
Now, if you take that image and go and give it to a multinational for them to do an advert and put it all over the billboards, I have the right not only to sue you, but to sue that multinational.
Seriously?
Beautiful. It's it's something that people like us hope and pray for.
Wow.
So that we can make free money.
Wow.
I don't know if you understand.
Yes.
So if you are let's say MTN or Glo or any of these companies, and you go and meet a superstar and says, "Oh, we want to use you for a billboard." You say, "Yeah, I have some pictures that Kelechi took. You can use it and do the billboard. They are fine. You don't need to do any photo shoot. I've already paid him."
That's danger.
If they use it and put on a billboard, they are setting themselves up for lengthy lawsuits. Do you understand?
Wow.
Yeah. So you can see now where there are limitations. Even for the person who has commissioned me to photograph him. He can use it to put in his this thing. Can use it for his obituary. You can use it for his election poster. You can use it to promote himself in his office, put it on his LinkedIn, do whatever it is as far as it's for his personal promotion.
Personal promotion. Okay.
If he then decides to commercialize it, maybe the picture is so fine, people are saying, "Hey, we want to pay you money," and he then starts to sell it as a print in the open market, I will sue him. He cannot do that. He does not have that right.
Wow.
So can you see where copyright is a bit like this?
Tricky.
Now, even me, if I photograph him, even though I own the copyright to the image, I also cannot put it out and start selling it as a print. Because he has what is called right to privacy under the law.
Even though you own the image?
Even though you own the image, it is his image. If you take his image and you go and start selling it in traffic, he can sue you. If you take that image and go and give to MTN without his consent, and MTN uses it for billboard, he will sue you.
So it's both ways.
So it's both ways.
Then where does model release come in?
So the whole right to privacy, that is where the model release contract comes in. If you're a photographer, you're photographing somebody. If you're a videographer, you're videoing somebody, and you want to commercialize the images that you're doing, you have to get a model release form, which is a document that grants you the right and authority to use the images for whatever purpose you want.
Whatever purpose
you want.
It means that you're paid off the model.
Yes, you understand. So if you're a photographer, you're doing test shots in the studio with a model, and you're saying, okay, you won't pay me, and we're doing trade by barter, and you don't get a model release form, I assure you, you will find yourself maybe 4 years, 5 years later, the model will come back and say, those pictures are looking, I'm now married. My husband say, he don't want to see any picture of me anywhere.
So you can also do that?
What? It has happened to me.
Wow.
After shooting some really very creative stuff, the guy says, my husband says he don't want to see any picture of me again. That was the end of those pictures till today. They are locked up inside one hard drive. Nobody can see them.
Wow.
Because I didn't
sign a model release.
I didn't sign a model release form. So now before I do a shoot, I will bring out the model release form. Please read it carefully. If you're interested, you will sign. If you're not interested, there is no problem. If you want me to pay you more money, let me decide whether you are worth it. I don't know if you understand.
Yes.
And then we sign
it.
And then we start to shoot. You get what I mean?
So no matter what, you can't come back for it later.
No, you have to keep your you have to keep your document. And they don't have any right to object
to
your usage of those images, you know. And those are the things. Those are the things that being a lawyer, you know,
has helped you.
Has helped me with.
When it comes to putting imprint, is that discretionary, like Watermark?
Putting a watermark on your work, I do think is obsolete these days. I tell you, digital watermark, right? It's obsolete. With a click of AI, it will generate the remove your watermark. So why do you want to put a watermark on your work and deface your work? Let people appreciate your work. Is that you're putting it out there or you're not putting it out there? Simple and short. You put your watermark is okay for people to recognize you're the one that took the picture. As a form of protection, I do not think it protects your image. You have metadata that is inside your image. Anybody uses it. You can search the internet, find the image, and know who to sue. You know, so what really protects you is, you know, to know they have your original raw file.
It's just for publicity, though. Just wherever the photograph gets
people
to,
know that
people know. Okay, it's coming from so place.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, yeah, but for, you get to a level of notoriety that your image is already a signature.
Yes.
That is where I like to be. To protect my image, I then publicize it properly. You get what I mean?
That's true.
So if I have, let's say, 100 and something thousand followers and I post it on my page, you cannot say that the image has not been published. It has been published. If anybody says it is their own, they should be able to come and say, oh, what happened? This is my image. You understand?
Your work has garnered so much notoriety, though, that anytime you post it, if I see it, I know this work is coming from.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a level on it.
So I'm looking for that level of notoriety where once I put my image up, people already know that this is my work. And that is my signature. The work itself becomes its own signature.
Now, was there a particular moment or project that you consider a turning point in your career?
I don't know. In terms of turning point, I've always been in search of opportunities to push my boundaries. You understand? I would say a turning point in my life was when I was in year 3 in University of Nigeria, and I was conflicted. Here I was studying law, when all I wanted to do was to draw. You understand? And I read a book called The Spirit of Apollo.
The Spirit of Apollo.
Apollo is it's one of those self-help books. It's just like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and those kind of books, you know, usual American, you know, positive thinking and all those kind of things. But this particular book, I read a particular chapter that told me that I should streamline my energies because life itself is too short. If you want to make impact in this world, you must have focus. And that you must discover yourself and decide on what your purpose is on this earth. And that it is only you that knows this, that must find this out. No other person. And it changed my life. That was when I decided I was going to be an artist. That was when I decided that I would make my own path and that my destiny was in my hands. So from then onwards, my world became just a roller coaster of miracles and, you know, extraordinary situations. I don't know how to put it. Okay, I came into Lagos after law school. I was squatting with my aunt in Surulere. I decided I was going to be an artist. No art training, no art dealer. Did not know anybody in Lagos apart from my brother and my cousins, you know. And just finished graduating from law school, decided to be a painter. I sounded like madness. You understand? But I had faith. I believed that this is my calling on this earth and that humanity will hear my voice, that the universe will rearrange itself to bring my wishes to pass.
Excellent.
And I stayed in that balcony and started painting. My biggest battle was what to paint. What should I paint? There are like a million different things to paint. And, you know, say, Kelechi, look deep into yourself. What do you see? What bothers you? What excites you? I say, this Lagos is crazy. What's everybody running up and down everywhere? What's wrong with them? I'm going to paint this chaos, you know. So I started to paint bus stops and people jumping into bus, you know. And I called it The Rush. A series called The Rush. Just painting Ojelagba bus stop, Yaba bus stop, Onyembo, you know. Just, and it caught on, you know. People loved it. Then I said, I'm fascinated with the human form, you know. And I started to paint nudes. Very different from what other thing I was doing. Now people loved it too.
Wow.
You know, I had my exhibition, it sold out. You know, so it's, everything is a turning point, you see. Like my first exhibition was in my aunt's sitting room in Surulere, number 12, off Randall. You understand? And I had that exhibition. I said, you know, you must work with what you have. You know, that's what they said in that book. So in that exhibition, I went to Shomolu and I printed invitations. I looked through all the newspapers, found all the art writers and wrote them a letter, invited them to come and do a review of my work, like a real exhibition. They came, they did the review and they published it. I have the newspaper clippings.
Wow.
From there, somebody said, oh, this exhibition should happen in a proper, you know, gallery. And the guy sponsored it, Ken Oji. So my first sponsor was Auntie Nena. Her sitting room was the venue. Second sponsor was Ken Oji, a banker. Put his own money down, printed a brochure, had that exhibition at Russian Cultural Center. Sold out. From there, I rented my own house, had my own gallery, and I started painting in my own house. You see, it's every, you know, and then I started my photography. Then somebody comes and knocks, but Akinbi says, oh, we'd like it's your collection. We'd like to be part of this exhibition. I found myself in Mali. While I was in Mali exhibiting, you know, I was exhibiting with T.Y. Bello, Uche James Iraha, Amezo Jekere was there. We formed Depth of Field. Some Italians came, looked at my work and said, would you like to come to Italy? I said, what kind of question is that? Of course. So that's another turning point. Then I was in Italy, in Milan. I just got married. That was my honeymoon. Me and my wife were running up and down in Italy. You know? And so if you're looking for turning point, then I come back to Nigeria, I say, look, I'm going to start my Kelechi Amadi-Obi studios, you know? And then I get a call from another agency that want me to shoot an advertising campaign. I'm like, ooh, awesome. I'm shooting for British American tobacco. Those are the baddest spenders on advertising in those days. Do you understand?
Yeah.
St. Maurice, you know, Benson and Hedges. My goodness. They were poisoning and, you know, making money at the same time. So that could be a turning point in my career. I don't know if you understand.
Yes.
And then I decided, oh man, I would like to shoot all these musicians, you know. And then I saw some people wearing hip-hop magazine t-shirt. I said, do you guys work for that hip-hop magazine? I said, yes. I said, who's the publisher? He says, that guy over there. He said, that boy over there. I said, yes. One dark boy like that. Went to meet him and said, hello, my name is Kelechi Amadi-Obi. He said, yeah, am I your animation? You're the publisher of that magazine. I said, yeah. I said, we need to do some work together. He said, okay, let's talk. Went to him, I showed him my portfolio. At first it was like, look, you know, I deal with all that. I said, I know your magazine. Hip Hop World. I see it, I buy it. But you need some help with photography, bro. I wanted to get to know the musicians. I wanted to start shooting their album covers. You understand? He said, my next cover has like 10 different artists on the cover. I said, you're sorted. Let's do the shoot. He said, I hope you're not going to over. I said, calm down. Let's do it. So I did that shoot. Charlie Boy was in front. He was the Oga of P-Man then. There was P-Square. There was Sonny Nature. And all these guys. Lined all of them up. I was the bunch, you know. So I shot all of them for one cover.
Wow.
I showed them the picture. They said, I would like these pictures. I said, if you want more, come to my studio. That was how I started shooting P-Square album cover. Started shooting, I shot P-Square, I shot TK Chupu, Tiwa Savage, Sonny Neji, just shooting all
a whole lot of
all
artists,
these
celebrities.
That was how we started The Bunch. Oh, you know, remember his album cover like this?
Yes.
We shot that in those days, you know.
Game over.
Yeah. And that also started sort of propagating the Kelechi Amadi-Obi. And somebody said, oh, I want to shoot, you know, all these things, put on the phone, images. I said, who do you want to be shooting? He said, Nollywood actors. I said, bring them to my studio, you know. I'll give you the right to put the images on your phone. I keep the rest of the rights. The guy said, deal. You understand? Wow. In 1 week, he brought Omotola, Genevieve, RMD, Ramsey Noah, brought all of them to my studio, photographing these guys, showing them the picture on my laptop. And they'll be like, we want our own. I say, yeah, you have to come back, pay, and get shot.
Wow.
And that was my foray into entertainment world.
Yes.
You understand? So every day is
a turning point.
Is a turning point. I'm still having turning points today because I keep exploring new avenues. You know, now I'm directing films. You know, so it's a daily thing. It's a journey. There's no arrival.
There's no arrival. It's a continuous thing. This is very, very fantastic. Now, I'm thinking, I want to ask also when it comes to clients reaching out to you, marketing and pricing.
Yes.
Now, when someone, because I see so many photographers have this channel, when someone reaches out to you, wants to book you for a shoot or for a walk or whatever be it, what's the first thing that comes to your mind, or what are the things, how do you discuss or negotiate?
Well, the first thing when somebody calls me is to understand what they want.
Okay.
You know, a lot of times you have to define what you want. So it's important for me to under-promise and over-deliver.
Under-promise and over-deliver.
Yes. It's extremely important. So I need to understand what the client wants. So if I understand what the client wants, I will go over it with them. Is this what you want? Sometimes it's not verbal because they don't have the words to describe what they want. Then we can speak in terms of imagery, you know. Then we can start creating mood boards and things. But the first thing I need to do is to understand what the client wants. When I understand what the client wants, and I'm sure I understand it, then we can discuss the process through which they will get what they want. And then we can discuss price, and then we can lock down a date. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
But you must understand what the person wants. People come to me to tell a story. That is what it is. Every photograph is a story that is being told. And what they are paying me for is not just nice lighting and making beautiful pictures. They're paying me for my opinion. Every picture that I take is me sitting in judgment over the person I'm photographing or the thing I'm photographing. They're asking for my judgment.
That's true.
And the verdict is the image. It is my point of view. It is how I see the person. You understand? So what people are paying for is my ability to perceive and to imagine you in a certain way. You understand? And that's what they're paying for. It's unique to me and me alone.
And I mean, the price is not fixed or standpoint price?
Nothing is fixed. There is a range. There's always a range. You can say, oh, my day is what this. You understand? And we can put that aside. And the truth is that, you know, pricing is a function of so many factors. First, you have to look at your costs. You have to look at, you know, also what the market is willing to pay, you know, or which market you're dealing with. You know, so are you dealing with the low-end market, or are you dealing with the high-end market? You know, for the kind of work we do, if our work is sufficiently scarce and sufficiently, you know, strong, then we are operating on the level of art and scarcity. You know, and that's where you start talking about art being priceless. You know, because, you know, you have a supply of one and a possible effective demand of infinitum.
True.
So the price can really go up. So it depends on your ability and your confidence.
How
do you also communicate? You know, the people you see, the thing about making photographs is a function of communication. A lot of people don't understand. You cannot tell someone's story who you do not understand. I cannot go and shoot the Queen of England if I haven't studied the monarchy profusely, understand the do's and don'ts. You can't really want to shoot the Queen and you want her to wear sunglasses. Are you okay? I don't know if you understand.
That's true.
You do not understand.
That's true.
You're not in that environment. Or you're telling them to jump. Calm down. You need to understand who you're photographing, the story you're trying to tell, the history of that monarchy. So it's a question of understanding and also communication.
Can you also understand your client better than the client wants itself?
It depends. There are different types of portraiture, you see. There's the portraiture where I am trying to tell you what I think about you. And there's a portraiture where I'm trying to tell you to expose what you want yourself to be seen as. So I'm collaborating with you to tell a lie. Do you understand? You know, maybe you're a total failure in business, but you see yourself as the ultimate billionaire. Maybe it's your wish for the next 10 years, what you want to be. And then we're going and we're hiring private jets and, you know, hiring diamond rings and hiring clothes. None of them is yours.
True.
We're shooting a lie. There's no reality.
True.
But then we start to question what reality is. Again, sometimes reality is not a straight line. One person says the cup is half full. The other person says it's half empty. They are both right.
True.
But they're saying two different things.
Wow. True. Now, what if one client reaches out to you and says, I have a particular budget that I want you to work with? Do you work with client budgets, or you make sure that you have your standard fixed?
No, but if the client's budget is below your take. Not my clients. I would thank them profusely for even considering me and say a nice goodbye.
Oh. No, this is awesome. Now let's come down to marketing. How do you get your clients, or how can photographers or other artists reach out to get clients?
My mantra is make good work, show it. Make good work, show it. If you want to be commissioned to do work that you love to make, then make work that you love and put it out there. Do not wait for people to commission you before you work. Just keep working, keep expressing yourself, and let the world see your expression. And then they would say, this guy, the way he's telling this story is the way I want him to tell my story. But if you put nothing out there, and you always wait for people to come and tell you how they want you to tell their story, then you don't have a voice. An artist without a voice is just an artisan.
Wow. An artist without a voice is just an artisan.
Yeah, you're a painter. You come and paint the wall. Can you paint my wall green? You paint it green. You can't say you're an artist. There is no personality in the paint work. Maybe it's neat. Yeah, it's a good artisan. It's a good painter. I don't know if you understand.
True.
Or you can say, hey, there is this guy. This guy is a very good copy artist. There's a painting I have. Can you make a copy of it for me? Just, then I can, I mean, you've been to, music shows, and, you go to a pub or you go to a nightclub or somewhere. You see a band, and you see the girl perform, Asha's is Fire on the Mountain, and the band is playing with so much harmony. Her voice even rings with different, octaves better than Asha's voice. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, this girl is really talented. And then you go home. When they ask you, what's her name? I can't remember. That girl that was singing Asha's song. I don't know if you understand. She did not sing her own song. It's just that girl that sang Asha's song. No matter how good her voice is. Until she decides to sing her own song. and bring out her own album and blow based on her own expression, you can't really consider her a star.
True.
So that is the thing with commissioned work and personal work. Personal work is your personal album that you're releasing. Commissioned work is like you know, singing advertising jingle. With a very good voice. You get paid, you get away. It has nothing to do with you. It's another person's song.
Now, how do you keep coming up with ideas that evolve with the changing times every now and again?
I'm in a constant search of something different. Okay. I'm in constant search of failure.
Failure?
Yes.
How do you mean?
Failure is when you set yourself up to be inconvenient. You set yourself up. You don't plan too much. You try something. When they say go this way, you go the other way. You understand? You are creating accidents by design in order to find new ways, because a lot of times when you try to be safe and create an image that has always been successful, you will be compelled to create what you've created before. It's an incestuous state of self-plagiarism.
Wow.
That keeps you in a tube.
True.
So when you make an image and people love it so much, beware of that image. Move away from it, find something else.
If not, you will remain there.
You will remain there. And they'll catch up with you. The crowd, the mob will catch up with you. And they will trample you.
And that's very true.
They will trample you because you have attracted them with your beautiful image.
Your beautiful work.
This is the one that people like. That picture that Kelechi made. Put the light here, put the light here, put the light here. Everybody will copy it. If you stay there, you're dead.
You need to evolve.
You must evolve or die. It's a journey, my brother.
Wow.
You don't stop.
You must evolve or die.
You don't stop. So when I see people say, they are charging less. No. It means you stopped. You let the crowd catch up with you. You're being trampled upon and you don't know it yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't let them catch up with you.
Be on the move. Do not stay in one place. That is what creativity is.
Photography has proliferated now. It's almost everywhere now. You see it on left, right, and center.
Everybody has a camera.
Almost everybody now has a camera.
Every phone is a high-end camera. Every phone now is
high-end camera.
Yeah.
How can one sustain? Years back, when there was no phone, at least you get people to call you to say, "Oh, I want to do my baby or my son," or things like that. Now, because of cameras and photography all around, do you think it has affected the photography industry when it comes to the value it used to have then?
Yeah, people make the mistake of thinking, but it's not a mistake. It was engineered. It was engineered by the manufacturers of all these things. They say, oh, if you use Nikon, hey, your picture will fine. So no, it's Canon. If you use Canon, no, you people never see anything. Sony, a camera will take beautiful pictures. You can never make bad picture with Sony. I don't know if you understand. So we say, have you heard about Hasselblad? Okay, no, forget it. Go and try Leica. I don't know if you understand. Yes. I say, if you use Apple phone, hey, forget it. No, Android, my brother. Android 7345. No, Apple phone, this thing Pro Max. You know, I say, calm down. The camera can only provide convenience. There is a limited intelligence that it can have, but it is a very dumb piece of equipment, really. The sophistication of the human eye and the brain is unmatched. Even AI has not come anywhere near it. The exploration of the inner cosmos of the human brain is one of the biggest mysteries of humanity.
True.
The generation of sentient being and your being, your aura, yourself, the self-awareness and persona is the essence of art. And science has not come anywhere near that. Now that is what has happened. Now everybody is with a phone.
Yes.
Now everybody understands that there is more to it than just clicking. That is where people then start to understand, because everybody is with a camera. They now see the one I shoot and the one they have shot. Then they understand what is unique about what is called the artistic eye. It's a sum total of your experiences as a human being, all culminated into decisions that you have made.
What the brain captures.
Yes. Why did we put this plant here? Why did we decide to have blue? Why did we decide that this chair has to be milk colored? Did we put these sculptural pieces by mistake? It's all a function of our humanity.
Intentionality.
These are those intentionalities that define you as a person. So as a creative, what has happened? Because everybody is now with the tool, now everybody now realize that there is another thing that they cannot have and can never have.
So it doesn't mean plenty competition.
There is no competition. People make that mistake. Once an artist discovers himself, then there is only one of him.
That's true.
There is only competition when you're copying others. You have not exposed the true self.
Wow.
So you do not exist yet until you discover yourself as an artist.
Wow. Really a competition when you're copying others.
Yes. So when people say, what advice do you have to give young artists? I say they must develop the courage to become themselves. Some of the most difficult things. The fear of rejection compels artists to copy what has been accepted and reject what is unique within them.
True. True. Now, the major challenge could be that discovery. Because as an artist, your eyes is already inundated with all kinds of photography. Yes. So sometimes you may just be tempted to follow the mob, especially in this our time now that people are hungry and just want to eat.
Yes.
How do you now go into the process of that, discovering your unique artistic self?
It's by also a lot of deep study. I tell people, it is a becoming. It is a process. It never ends. I tell people, there is no arrival in this journey, my brother. The process itself is the life. So, yes, you can start by challenging yourself. How did this person make this? Let me try and make something similar. We all did that in the beginning of our journey. But let that be just for the purpose of technical practice. You must find an essence of your creativity. You must find your voice. You must find an opinion. And that goes beyond your craft. That goes into the humanity of you. Who are you? What do you know about life? How does that reflect in your photograph? So it's not photography itself that becomes you. It is your being of you that becomes you. So I tell people, develop yourself. Read. Understand philosophy, understand life. Because for you to distinguish yourself and then people will be interested in your opinion, you must be knowledgeable. Nobody wants to listen to a dullard. There is a reason why when somebody like Chinua Achebe says, why are you giving me national honor? Who told you that you are worthy to give me an honor?
True. Wow.
And he did it to Good Luck. And it was a big insult on our president. And they could do nothing about it.
True.
Because who are you to give Chinua Achebe? Have you washed your hands before you want to eat with the elders? I don't know if you understand. The man that wrote Things Fall Apart, his opinion in that book has reverberated through the whole stratosphere. The whole world, my brother. It is a study on change. That book is not about him understanding how to put commands and know how to speak phone. It's a deep understanding of language, coupled with a deep understanding of self and history, infused with opinion and judgment of the colonial masters. So for him to write that book, it is not that he knows how to write English. It's because he understands self and understands the meaning of colonialism and the dangers of colonialism and the effect of change in society and what is actually happening to us and the poison that we have been fed with.
True.
So it goes beyond knowing how to write. Past tense, present sense, present continuous. Mba.
So bringing out a unique self, it's about discovering yourself.
That is what distinguished Chinua Achebe and put him on a pedestal. That one book that has mystified the world and continues to mystify the world till today. So it is the understanding of self. It is the study. So he is an artist that expresses himself through words. We're artists that express ourselves through light, capturing of light. It's the same thing, my brother. So if I read Things Fall Apart, I read There Was a Country, I read Half of a Yellow Sun, read The Art of War, read Charles Dickens, I am imbuing myself with knowledge. Listening to Fela, read his history, read world history, understand the formation of Europe, understand, Mansa Musa and the riches of Timbuktu. Then I can stand in judgment and speak with authority through my art.
Deep discovery.
What distinguished Fela from the rest of the musicians? I heard the story. He had a girlfriend who was with the Black Panthers. He was with her in America and he was playing his song. Oh, no, oni do do, oni moi moi. The guy was like, oh, what's the meaning of this song? He said, something about plantain and beans cake. The guy was like, are you for real? Like in this time and age, we're talking about the 60s. When racism was at its height, there were human rights fighting. Black Panther was fighting everywhere in America. Negritude, Kwame Nkrumah was making speeches up and down. Nnamdi Azikiwe was talking about, liberation of, the world was in one kind of, they had just finished Second World War and America was looming large and there was fight against communism. The whole world was in one kind of crazy situation. Vietnam was happening. And he said, this is the only thing you can sing. Okay, take this book. Read this one about black distinct. Have you read Kwame Nkrumah? Have you read this? After Fela finished reading that stuff, he said, okay, I'm not singing High Life again. I'm singing Afrobeat, Afro Juju music. Paint his face. Say, love, you are mad. Now, let me introduce you to the original spiritual. I don't know if you understand. His music became activism. It became his opinion. He would take a head of state and convict him of corruption by himself, became a judge. And he would release the album with your name in there and call you international thief. What will you do? For generations unborn, we'll keep hearing your name as a thief.
True.
Because he has sat in judgment against you. Far beyond music, my brother.
Wow. This is a mind-blowing.
So that is the thing about art. It's a realization of self.
Of yourself.
So it has nothing to do with the technicalities or the fact that there is AI now that will play music. Does it mean you can play music like Fela? Oh, Fela doesn't even have a good voice.
It's true. It's true.
If he tried to sing high pitch, his voice will just break. And so I did, give me the second base, Ojare.
Now, how have you managed to balance your artistic vision with the demands of running a successful business?
Well, it's interesting actually, because I've also understood right from the beginning that once you're creating work and you want to make a living out of it, you must come to grips with the tenets of commerce and business, and capitalism, the laws of demand and supply. And you have to follow the rules. You have to have customer service. You have to have your advertising. You have to have, you have to build the brand.
Yes, that's the word.
And all that. And it keeps changing. These days, it's happening on social media. It's happening. So it's something that we have to take into account. Like, you have to pay your taxes. You have to calculate those. You have to, know what your bottom line is. You have to know, and things like that. You have to reinvest into the business. You have to, and all those kind of things. You cannot ignore them. The parts that you don't want to do personally, you employ people to do, or find softwares that can help you, technology.
Now, what are the strategies do you employ to ensure your work continually remains commercially viable in the market?
The thing is that, IP is a very vast area. A lot of people don't concentrate on, like, we do commission work a lot. We're shooting advertising, we're shooting portraits, we're shooting individual portraits, we're shooting corporate headshots and things like that. But we can also do stock photography, where we're selling for licensing images for usage and things like that. The other day I did a whole series of landscapes around Nigeria, and I was selling prints, and it was quite lucrative, So we're having multiple streams of income from the same source, which is, making imagery.
Now, you were talking about AI now and technology that has become so prominent. This now, in what ways has digital technology transformed the landscape of photography and visual art since it started?
Well, this AI thing is a real big explosion. It's completely changed everything.
Yes.
Made so much possible.
Yes.
But just like every other thing, like I said, eventually, the technicalities of making beautiful pictures has been taken over by the machine. So that the picture is beautiful alone, it's not good enough. I just posted a picture yesterday or day before yesterday, and I was getting these comments, like, oh man, this thing looks so clean. It's looking like AI. I was like, okay, let me post the behind the scene video quickly. And it's true.
People they start calling it all work AI.
Before they say it's AI. Because AI is cheap. You don't need to do anything. You just put some words. You're now a wordsmith. And eventually the AI part of the thing will develop into a more
realistic,
even a more deadly, more powerful, that will start having value. Right now, everybody's in it. It really doesn't. Later it will settle down. There's a frenzy right now. Later it will settle down. There will now be experts. These are experts at what AI is doing. It's emphasizing the language of art. It's prompts. It's words turned into imagery. Okay? So it's now you understanding which words to use. I don't know if you get what I mean.
True.
You want to program the thing, you tell it that you need the artwork done in a Rococo style, with complementary colors of this and that, with the particular work done by Degas, with the strokes of that particular work. Do you understand? You want to tell it to show a photograph, you'll be talking about a particular kind of lens, used, then the colors came and grading by Steven Spielberg in the movie so. So you now need to be doing research into visuality in a very deep way to understand the words. So it's not still easy.
So you think it cannot take over photography?
How will it? It's not possible. Cannot. It's just another category of work that has now been created. It's unbelievable. It's beautiful, powerful. It affects my photography too. Sometimes I want my image to be square, and I took it in a portrait mode. I will tell AI to generate what I want on both sides, and it will enhance a picture that I already took. Beautiful. Unbelievable. Seeing that thing, I had a car, I cut the car in half, I wanted to see something here. The thing built a house, built a car, and built the whole landscape, joined it with my picture. Unbelievable. You know? So we are studying it. We don't ignore it. But again, if those who develop themselves and who make themselves the source, and their humanity and their knowledge and their personality can never be replaced by AI. But those who are just copying and trying to make only fine pictures with no opinion and no this thing, you're losing your job quick. Like, you know, the quack photographers that come to take your picture at an event.
Yes.
And give you a print.
Hard copy.
A hard copy.
Yes.
You come outside and
yes.
Have you noticed you haven't been seeing too many of them?
Very true.
Do you know why?
Why?
They were solving a problem. The problem they were solving was that you dressed up, you went to an event, you want memories of that event.
True.
So they give you a physical print of that memory. But what has happened now is that the phones that people are carrying taking finer pictures
than
their back camera. They are not changing their lens, they are not cleaning their sensor because they can't afford to. Are you getting me?
That's true.
The phone is taking clearer pictures. Before they finish printing the thing, the guy has already taken pictures and sent to his family. He doesn't be carrying all sorts of prints. He doesn't know what to do with.
That disrupted that area.
So can you see how they have lost their business to technology instantly? Like.
Very true.
Because you can't say, no, I want this particular photographer. Anytime you go for event, you're like, I'm looking for, there's one guy that used to take nice picture at event. Where is he? No. Anybody that bring camera is a quack. He didn't even ask for your permission before photographing you in the first place. They have no personality. There's nothing unique about them.
Very true.
That is why they have become dispensable.
Now, what's your take on diversification as a photographer and an artist?
I believe that you must start with one area.
Okay.
Start with one area, become proficient in that before you move to another area.
Okay.
It is easier. It is easier, especially even now. You need to stand out in a particular area. And after standing out in that area, you move to another area. But don't try to be proficient in 5 different areas at the same time. You dissipate your energies. It is not easy in life. Unless some people are like genius, burning your candles at both ends, on constant beast mode, go to bed by 2 o'clock in the morning, wake up by 4, work again, go to bed by 2, wake up by 4, no life, 2, 4, 7, 10 years, 20 years. Some people can do that, that there are very few of them. You also burn yourself out and die, because you need some kind of life-work balance,
That's very true. That's very true. Now, do you think passion is enough to sustain someone in business or to sustain you as an artist?
Passion is not enough.
Okay.
Passion is not enough. Passion is good. It can light the fire to power what I call the number of 1,000 hours you need to master your craft. At that stage, when you're not making any money, passion is good. Okay. But passion combined with discipline.
Combined with discipline.
Yes. It's not that you're passionate alone, but you're passionate enough to say, I want to achieve this, and you have the discipline to add things you don't even like, that you're not passionate about. That is what discipline is, my brother. Some say, I'm passionate, and then you start doing one thing, but you're not disciplined enough to say, look, let me decide my time. While doing this, I should also do this and do that and do that in order to succeed. That's why I say passion is not enough. You should have enough discipline to study other things you don't know and not so passionate about. Add it to your knowledge to become more powerful.
Wow. Some people would say that in this area, in this time where people would complain of the economy and their charges and things like that. People want to get themselves to do many other things so that they can make money. So are you just going to sit on your passion just so that because you make quick money, or you can just put your hands into other things that can generate the money or the income?
I believe that my journey is unique to me.
Okay.
I'm not one of those people that say you must go through the way I went. You understand? There are those who will say, you know what, I need to make a living. This thing I'm passionate about is not enough. I'm not good enough to be able to make a living from my passion. So get a job, man. But that means you're going to be working double. You know, after work, find a work that is flexible. Maybe you don't work every day in the week, or you end early. You're going to be a teacher in some primary or secondary school. I don't know if you understand. Immediately after that, you enter your passion like a madman. Work again till 12. Go to bed. Go and do your day job. That's what's giving you your daily bread. You understand? Maybe you come back, you work on your passion again, or until you get to that stage, you know that the rice don't dawn.
To kick.
You invite people to come and eat.
That's very true.
You open your restaurant.
That's very true. Are there artists that you think are inspiring you currently, or that have inspired you in time past?
I have so many artists that have inspired me. At any point in time, I'm working with new mentors. I mean, the first set of people that were blowing my mind was Stan Lee. You know Stan Lee of Marvel Comics. Yes. Stan Lee presents Spider-Man. Stan Lee presents Incredible Hulk. Stan Lee presents Marvel. I used to study anatomy through those comics. I used to draw constantly. And then I started studying other artists. You know, there was a time I was in awe of Leonardo da Vinci, you know, and then I discovered the Impressionists, you know, Monet, you know, and all those French Impressionists. Their use of colors blew my mind. I got obsessed with color, you know, and then I went into photography. I started seeing people like, you know, there was a guy called Nick Knight.
Nick Knight?
Nick Knight. He's a British fashion photographer. Mad. He's still working till today. He has a thing called Show Studio that he puts on social media. The guy is awesome. I used to study his work. I used to enjoy it. I love Mario Testino. I love Annie Leibovitz, you know, her portraits. You understand? You know, there was a guy called Peter Beard. You know, I don't know if he's still alive. Old man. Awesome guy. You understand? Then, I mean, these days, I'm inspired by even young people younger than me, you know. People doing YouTube video. I mean, it's crazy. You understand? You know? So it's you know, I'm in a constant flux. And then I get inspired by people doing other things, you know. People doing digital,
even in Africa here.
People doing digital painting, even in Africa. This guy, Makerere, is somewhere in Tanzania. He's in Kenya, I don't know. Awesome guy. So it's a constant state. I'm always in search of inspiration, really. There's no end to it. There are a lot of nameless artists. I mean, I just come across their work and I'm like, wow, who is this person? You know, there's a guy called Sales Chong in Japan. Was in China? Japan. I think he's a Japanese guy. Mad wedding photographer, fashion. I don't know. You know, his shoots are epic. You just climb on, go to the Antarctica to do one shoot. From there, you fly to Namibian desert. Do another shoot. Yeah, fly to Australia. The shoots are always like, you know, epic. They're grand tour. Like, I'm like, what is this? You know, that kind of thing. So you think you've seen it all? You never seen that. You know?
Of all your works that you've done and all your experiences, which of them do you think stand out as most memorable?
I don't know. It's a problem now. There was a time I used to be excited, you know. But I get bored easily these days. They were exciting then, but then, you know, I'm in search. I get bored easily, and I need boredom. It's boredom that pushes
you to do things. Yes, that's true. Now, when you see new, when you see new photographer or any artist that desiring to come into the work of art or photography, what are the advice you think you have for that person? Like 5 advice you have for those new artists?
I've already given the advice. I say, let them have the courage to be themselves.
Okay.
I think that's the only advice. Yesterday, I was watching Basquiat, or Basquiat, I don't know. Young artists in New York in the 70s or so. Yeah, I think he died young of overdose of heroin or something. Crazy young boy like that, 20-something years. He made it. In fact, his painting got sold for $400 and something million the other day at an auction. And his work is like jaga like this, okay? But the boy was hot. He was aware of himself. He was during the time of Fela, that's when he was reigning. You understand? You know, he was hanging out with Andy Warhol, all these. And he did so well. I was looking at his life, you know, and I saw the intensity with which he expressed who he was. And that is the most important thing. You know, don't follow anybody. Follow yourself.
Follow yourself. Don't follow anybody. Follow yourself. Are there mistakes you think there are people are making currently, new artists are making, or this era photographers are making?
Everybody makes mistakes.
Okay.
Mistakes are good. I make mistakes every day. You know, that's why I'm saying that you must follow yourself. One thing somebody calls mistake is another person's masterpiece.
True. True.
So when I tell you it's a mistake, it's from my own point of view. That doesn't make it right. So go ahead, make mistakes. Mistakes are good. Nobody ever learned from success. We all learn from failure.
This is a new idea. This is a new idea. Now, you were mentioning a discipline earlier on and how people should be disciplined when it comes to their work. Now, what mental disciplines do you believe are crucial for sustaining you as a creative art?
Well, time is limited. Time management is crucial. First, be disciplined with your body. A lot of times people are saying, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do this. What are you going to do? If you're on a sick bed with drip coming out of this place and that place, nobody be talking about creativity.
True.
So the first discipline is how to maintain your body. Mind and body. So what do you eat? Do you exercise? Are you healthy? So the first discipline is discipline to be useful as a human being and be alive first. That's first discipline. Second discipline is what are you doing with your time?
What are you doing with your time?
Do you plan your time? Do you plan what you're doing? That's the first discipline, to take charge of your life and to plan your time. You know, have goals, you know, and things like that. And study and learn new things. The discipline to learn. One of the most difficult things people have is that they want to stay in that place where they are an expert. No, me, I never stopped going to school. I'm still a student. And I never stopped learning. Now I'm learning from much younger people, 20-something-year-olds, doing deadly things because they come from a different era. The world has changed right under my feet. By the time I got out of school, buying a computer was like, why do you want to buy a computer? Yes. 1992. People with computers are people doing MS-DOS. Clinton was talking about the World Wide Web. We're going to put up the World Wide Web. I'm like, what's wrong with this guy? What's World Wide Web? Are they fishermen? They want to fish the whole world web. What are they talking about? Do you understand what they were talking about? That's www.
Wow.
That America has used to colonize the whole world right now.
Honestly.
Every month, Netflix is collecting money from my account. Google is collecting. Adobe Photoshop is collecting. I don't know how many people collecting money. Apple Pay collecting money. They're collecting money from my account every month. Straight to America. Through the World Wide Web. Jesus.
No.
I don't know if you understand.
Yes, I get you.
Not too long ago, every time I'm coming back from work, I'll stop over on my friendly neighborhood fake CD, DVD seller to see latest movie, collect and slot in and be playing.
And true.
I don't know if you understand.
That's changed.
Now it's Netflix. Can never finish watching film there. You watch film and die. Before you finish that one, Amazon will be calling you, say, how far, bros, see film. Say, one you go die. On smart TV, you don't even, short, leave matter. The world has changed.
So true.
It's not the same world. We don't come from that world, bro. We need to learn from these kids.
That's true.
Who grew up on, like, you know, watching, what's that thing? There's one funny thing. Even their babies, they're watching it. Baby shark do. They start looking at screen before they even start talking.
True. Very true.
They are wired differently from us. So we must learn from them. Because eventually we need to sell to them.
That's true.
They'll grow and be the next.
Now, coming to creative blocks, how do you handle creative blocks or low inspiration when it comes to work?
There's a guy, Chuck Close.
Chuck Close.
Yeah. Put him. He says inspiration is for amateurs. We're professionals. We'll go to the studio, we show up, and we work.
Seriously? Inspiration is for amateurs.
It's for amateurs. We are professionals. You go and you start to work. The work will inspire you to do more. Which one is I'm not inspired? Okay, stay at home. Hunger and starvation will come calling. For me, the work itself is a source of inspiration. Once you start working, the process of work will demand movement from you, mentally and physically. And if you're open to new ideas, it will show you loopholes and new ways, which will inspire you. But then, in your spare time, what do you fill your brain with? Do you fill it with endless entertainment, doom scrolling of this and that? Or do you fill your head with inspiring material? Do you fill your head with, you know, great works of artists gone and artists present? And then you'll be a whirlpool of endless inspiration, my brother. There's nothing like creative block. It's a mindset.
That's true. Now, what key strategy do you use to build a brand and maintain personal brand as an artist?
That's the thing. The first thing is to know who you are and know who you are not.
Who you are and who you are not.
Not. So I know what my brand is. I know what my brand is not. You understand? The Kelechi look is a smiling face. So you see any photograph of me, you will see plenty teeth. You understand?
That's true. That's true.
If you look, you will see it. It's not that I'm pretending. It's my outlook in life, bro. Life is too short. Be happy. So it's a happy brand. You understand? Past 10, 15 years, it's more stylish and young. As I'm growing older, my styling is getting younger. You know, so it's a whole persona. It's also wiser.
Okay.
More introspective and has more depth. You know, the craft is there. It will keep getting better. There's no end to what to learn. You understand? It's dynamic. So it's just to define oneself and stick to that definition while discovering the new you based on new circumstances. Also, be ready to change.
What role has social media played in your creative works these days?
Social media is powerful, but it's also dangerous.
Powerful and dangerous.
At the same time. It's powerful. It's powerful in that you get instant feedback. First time I saw those things on Instagram, I was blown away. I rejected it at first. I rejected BlackBerry, BB. I saw everybody on their phone. I said, this is not good. Why are people refusing to communicate with each other? Why are they on the phone? I said, what are you doing? He said, he's chatting. So what you're chatting, you're sending somebody text and send you text back. So why did you call the person and hear their voice? They say, no, it's cheaper to text. I say, but your time, you're losing time. There's nothing cheap about your time. As if I'm mad. So I never got a BB account. Do you understand? And then Facebook, I refused to get on Facebook. I say it's crazy. They're all the same. Until I was on one trip from Lagos to London. Obama was about to win America's presidential election. And Obama was raising millions and millions of dollars. I say, how is he raising this money? This guy is just a charity lawyer. Those are money. They say he's raising it from social media. I say, social media? I say, yes. I say, count me in. I just registered on Facebook immediately.
That's when you signed up immediately?
Yes. I said I started taking it serious. You understand? So I put my work on Facebook. It went viral. Thing went from Facebook to BB. Everybody had it. I say, you see what I said? They stole my picture. Nah. I didn't post anything again for 2 years.
You're thinking they're stealing your work?
I was just telling you, from old school guy looking at social media, until my makeup artist, because I was like, Kelechi, I need those pictures we took. I want to put it on my Instagram. I say Instagram. There's Instagram, there's Facebook, what's going on? You know? Anyway, I said, but what I do is I always keep my name in each of those platforms. So that I won't be answering the real Kelechi. Kelechi _ Amadi-Obi Studio 2. Anyway, so I gave her those pictures. I said, let me put them on my page. I'm tired of being absent. So I just put it on the Instagram page. I started hearing, come. My phone was going, it's like, what's going on? My battery will soon die. Who are these people? Like. Comment. What? I started looking at it. I said, wait a minute. I can actually tell who this person is because I can click on their destiny, know who they are, know their preferences. So this is the ultimate feedback for work. So that was how I got on Instagram. I started. But before then, I started noticing some strange things. You understand? People were stopping me on the road and they were calling me other artists' names. Do you understand?
Seriously? How?
I'm not joking. The times had changed. The new generation could only see you on social media and I wasn't there. But they knew me from the old world as a great artist, but they did not know my name. So when they saw me, they called the names of those who they know, which are people on social media. I didn't even know those photographers at the time.
Okay.
So they say, are you Emmanuel Oyeleke? I'm like, who is Emmanuel Oyeleke? I don't know if you understand.
Yes.
Like, who is Emmanuel? I'll go and check. I say, oh, wow, nice photographs. So I found out that because I was absent from that world, the whole world had developed without me. So I was actually a dinosaur. The ice age had come and gone, and my bones were being displayed in a museum. And I didn't know it. So is that a T-Rex? Wow. What happens if you don't engage in social media? You understand? So what happened? Why I say it is good and it is dangerous is that it is good to a good place to show your work and network, but it's dangerous if you rely on the likes that you get as a true judgment of how good your work is.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
So you have to be careful. The algorithm is designed for the people who make the app. They did not make it for judging good artwork. They made it to keep people looking at the app.
Very true.
So to get that, you need to shock people. You need to distract people. You need to be a nuisance of sorts. You know, jump around, shake your bum, do something stupid or something viral. You understand? So don't use it as a true judge of
your work,
of how excellent your work is. Maybe that work is for only 2 people to see. If those 2 people have seen it, you just have 2 likes, you're good. Move to the next chapter.
Because it's true, I've seen many very good photographers that I will see, but they will post their works. It have very minimal engagement, but they are very, very good at their work.
So don't even look at that. Don't waste your time. The algorithm is there for another thing. You know it's good work.
Yes.
The general society does not know sometimes what excellent work is. And they're not judging it based on how excellent it is. They're judging it based on how it distracts them compared to somebody shaking their bum bum that they're looking at. Which one are they going to scroll on first? That is true. Or somebody doing a skit. Maybe a dog beat somebody and the person ran and fell into a gutter. Like, correct. They'll look at that one.
And it's true.
And then next thing, your excellent artwork pops up. Next to it is a cat singing national anthem. They'll just scroll past your own, look at the cat. This is a work that you spent like 2 months
trying to think
so
of.
if I put this thing, the whole world will shake. But they just, did you see that cat? He's singing Arise or come. Jesus.
And it's true. And it's true.
And if you are too bothered about whether they are liking or not liking, you'll soon be wearing cat clothes and be jumping up and down the whole place.
If you can't beat them.
Or embarrassing people on the road and pouring water on them and doing all sorts of funny things to get followers and attraction.
And engagement.
Engagement. I don't know if you understand.
I get you, man.
That's what happens. But if you find a balance of creating captivating content, educative and striking, you can play the game if you have the energy.
How do you ensure you stay consistent in your brand and your work while still ensuring that creative evolution and experimentation?
Well, there is standards that I constantly trying to uphold. So I have standards that I try to uphold. I look on the global tip for my standards. I like to find what I consider good work and say I judge my work against this, to make sure that the quality is at par. So apart from that, it changes, it evolves. If I look at my last year's work and I'm still in awe, then there's something wrong. I need to be not too impressed with it. Yeah. If you look at your last year's work and you're like, man, I'm too bad, then there's something wrong.
You should be looking at your present work.
You should be looking at your last year and saying, wow, let me do this.
Let me do this work.
It's terrible. Let's do something better.
Badder
than that.
And it's true. And it's true. Now, when it comes to as an artist growing up, when you started all those earlier time, now are there any unique challenges you face as an African artist seeking international recognition, and how did you overcome them?
I don't know really, about international recognition. I'm not seeking it. Like seeking it, you understand? We are lucky, Nigeria is a big country. And this place can sustain you.
And everything about the black skin is kind of looked at as second fiddle.
Well, I'm not really bothered about that. I think our people here need a change of perception, which is what we are working on. But whether those people appreciate it or not, I mean, the people in Europe and all that, I'm not speaking to them, really. Let us talk to our people here. Those guys, they come. Sometimes they call me, I fly, I go and have an exhibition. There was a time I used to travel, like I said, every year I would do 3 or 4 exhibitions abroad. After a while I said, who are all these people? What's my business with them? My people need liberation. The mind needs to be expanded. What am I doing an exhibition in Europe? We need to show our people who they are. I don't know if you understand. This is the place that needs us. The international people, they will follow. Let us get our act right, man. The Chinese sat down and said, you know what? Close the walls, close everything.
Let's get down to work.
Every village, you must manufacture something. Every village. Is it toy? Okay, start making toy. Is it bottle top? Be doing bottle top. This village will support you. Leave all these Oyibo people. If you want to go there, go and learn. Bring it back here. Look at how they've taken over the world. You think they're waiting for Yoruba approval? They're far ahead of them now. That's what we should do. I don't know if you get what I mean. We don't need, we can see their stuff. That's why I'm using their stuff to compare to my own. To say, let my quality not be less than, in fact, should be better. Do you understand?
It's true.
We're in a global world, they will see. Now, my staff was telling me now, say, your post now, na Spanish and Arabic comment with the see for your post now. I'm like, it will happen. Don't worry, leave them. Do I know what they're writing there? We are here. We are here doing our stuff, bro. Do you understand? We've broken this thing. The barriers have gone. Oh. It's for us to enter. Oh.
It's true.
No, see Olua. Olua Brown. What's his name? Chris Brown.
Chris Brown.
Olua Breezy. You are speaking broken. English.
It's coming to terms with our culture.
Everybody is. This is where it's at. What are we looking for there? Now, them go, they look for our approval. That's the way we should make it. I don't know if you understand. All this looking for Yibo approval.
Now, as new photographers, you know, as when it comes to artists or your skill, it has to come down to your success, and it has to come down to your business skills and your wisdom in it. Now, what do you think are some of the business skills an artist should have that can enable them to succeed in their creative works? Business
skills artists needs are the same business skills that every other person needs, my brother. You know, first of all, you need to understand the nitty-gritty of business now. You know, what are your costs? What are your costs? Can you keep your costs down and increase your income? As you're increasing your income, what are you doing with the profit? Are you plowing it back into the business and building the business stronger? Are you investing that extra money? Are you going to use that do dorime over the weekend? Or buy the latest car? What are you doing with it? Are you opening new departments in your place and enabling people to work for you and expand your capacity? You understand? It's the same thing with every other business, really. You know, we can't insulate ourselves from business itself. I mean, people like me, we love the process of creating because that's what gives us joy. But while you're in that process, you also have to enable the basics of business to thrive.
Now, what role does networking play in your life so far in your creative field?
Network is is everything. You cannot, the people don't want to work with who they don't like. So my networking is actually the type of relationship I have with my clients.
Okay.
You understand? You have to be a promise keeper, but also you have to be somebody that people want to deal with. I mean, your aura and your personality is important. I go to events and things, and I don't go out a lot because, well, I'm just too busy working. But when I do, I am present in the place, if you get what I mean. And make friends, say hello, come back. But I also don't believe that you should leave your work and then just be running up and down the whole town in the name of networking, unless you've now abdicated the creativity to other people, which you can do. And you're now the symbol of the organization. It's good for marketing. I don't deny that, but I try to find the balance because I'm also involved in the creativity itself.
Now, because you mentioned earlier on that you get bored on quickly, easily. Now, how do you get yourself to stay motivated consistently in your creative field?
Once I get bored, then I want to create. The boredom is the downtime. Say, oh man, I'm bored. I'm tired of this kind of work. Can we do something else?
Yes.
Hey, Emeka, that concept we're talking about, can we execute it? We've started, we get excited. Once we start doing, we're excited. Boredom has gone. We are now executing. So that's all. But you need the boredom. If you're in a constant state of entertainment, going to nightclub, watching movie all the time, you won't be bored. So cut out entertainment, find boredom, and then solve the boredom by creating.
Now, I want you to expatiate more on this, your magazine.
Okay, Mania.
Explain more, Mania magazine. Now, what's your idea behind it, and Tell me more about it and how you publish it.
Mania came is as a result of certain circumstances. You know, like I told you, I discovered that it's best for me to publish my work. So I started working for fashion magazines. First of all, I wanted to shoot fashion. I loved it. I loved the art of it. I loved the vibrance of it. I loved the concept and the process of creating fashion. And I was in awe of all those Vogue photographers I was talking about. Making art every month and getting it published. That's like having an exhibition every month. So for me, that was El Dorado because I loved the process. So I had a portfolio. Magazine came from South Africa. They were looking for a photographer who has you know, some knowledge and some portfolio on fashion. And I showed them my stuff. They were like, good. I started working with them. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And it was beautiful. That was what gave me the notoriety that I have now, you know. But the economy, Nigerian economy became too hostile for them. And they left. And then I started working for all sorts of magazines, Genevieve, TW. There was a weekend magazine called Next, Pull Out, from Next newspaper, which was called The Land. And we started doing weekly editorials. That was insane. You understand? Every week we used to shoot an editorial. I loved it. I was like, wow, you can shoot an editorial every week. That's 4 editorials in a month. That's it. So when the magazine died, there was this stylist that used to always work with me. And I said, you know, we're finished. There's no magazine. You're a stylist, I'm a photographer. Without a fashion photographer without a magazine, it's like a musician without an amp. You know, nobody can hear our voice. So what if we started our own magazine? It's like, Abby, so let's do it. That was how we created Mania. It was just this kind of discussion. It's like, let's make the baddest, let's challenge Vogue and Elle, and we're going to create this, you know, just went mad. And we started shooting, you know. That was what I just did. Let's start shooting. What's the idea? Let's start. Do the first editorial, second editorial. Beauty, we need a beauty section. Okay. Cover, who are we going to shoot for cover? Okay, we're going to shoot cover. We just started shooting. Shoot. Say, we don't get 2 editions. Let's start designing. Design. Okay, the magazine needs to be like this, that. That was how we started Mania. And, you know, I'll do my shoots, get money from my photography, go and print the thing in Dubai. They ship the thing and start carrying magazine on our head, going from pillar to post. And that was how we started. You understand?
Doesn't mean all the photographs in the Mania are yours?
Not all, but at the beginning it was.
Okay.
But as we started bringing in other photographers, bringing in other contributors, of course, it's not only me can do all that amount of work. But when we started, it was me shooting everything, you know, to decide the quality that we wanted. And we developed a mad reputation. Photographers are practically begging to shoot for free. Because I used to reject my own shoot. I would finish doing a shoot, I look at it, I say, this thing is too poor, man. We can't put it in Mania. We reject the entire shoot, model, everything, styling, all the money lost. So, you know, we don't make them. Our mantra was that the magazine is as strong as the worst page, not the best page. So sometimes photographers will finish doing a shoot and we would not publish it. It was painful.
Wow. So you can actually do a shoot and at the end of the day you reject it, you won't publish it?
Yes, I won't publish it. It's not good enough, my brother. That's the power. Do you understand? That's the power of a publisher, bro. Now you go determine the quality. Are you getting me? If you don't compromise on it, that is Vogue, bro. Never compromise on that quality. That is what gives, so that every edition you're looking at is mind-blowing. Every edition, there's no picture. There's no pixelated picture. You can't find it in this magazine. Never. There's no page that is misdesigned. There is no, everybody has a good, do you understand? The portrait, the cover, look, this is a cover. This is a triple spread. You understand? You understand? It's not, you know, when you think about it, these are all superstars. We only chose 4 people here. Every other person is inside the fold. Sorry. You understand? You know, then when we interview each person, this we had to go to Miami to shoot this. This is talking about this artist. This is an exhibition he had. I flew to Miami to shoot this. It's crazy. You understand? When I say we do editorial, I fly to Paris to shoot on the streets of Paris. It's mad. Look at this guy. We shot this thing here. We created rain. Rain. You know, these are AMVC. We created rain. I borrowed Moody's car to shoot this. We are pouring water from upstairs here.
Can you imagine? Wow.
It was mad, you know. But then we started getting, you know, advertising. You understand? This Ralph Lauren, straight from Paris. They started advertising our magazine. They told me, I got invited by Condé Nast to discuss. Those are the people publishing Vogue, you know, GQ, and that own the franchise to all those things. Interesting. You know, it was powerful. You understand? So that was how that was the birth of Mania.
Is it a quarterly magazine?
No, it was monthly, and then went quarterly, and then we sort of stopped, you know.
When are you intending to bring it back to life?
Well, I'm working on that. I'm working on bringing a digital version of it back, because what killed the magazine was, you know, Buhari's regime came in and Naira was 150, went to 300. All of a sudden, you know, our costs got doubled. And then he had a funny monetary policy where people couldn't withdraw dollars, and advertisers left Nigeria, you know. So it became difficult to sustain. So it's that thing about, you know, the government can put you on a treadmill.
That's true. And
they can keep rewinding that and let it be moving faster. You'll be going backwards, you'll be running faster, they'll keep increasing the speed.
And it's true.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. That was the only reason, you know. I just said, no, it's no longer sustainable. You know, but it was powerful. I actually believe that if I stop this magazine, some other people will just step in and take over. Till now, it's been how many years? Buhari did 8 years. Good Luck did 6. It's been many years.
Many years now.
I don't know if you understand. Still nobody. But it was an impossible thing to do.
You need to bring it back to life.
To maintain this quality. We cause trouble for this play for Nigeria. When you bring out the magazine, I say, you won't try every page. Just check every page. I remember when we did this, nearly burned down the studio. Candle everywhere. Every day, man, we had crazy ideas. It has to be mad. You understand? This guy is a writer. I need to find her. Where is she? I have some copies of the magazine that I might store. I need to.
So people can still purchase them.
I need to package them. It's pure history.
People can still buy them.
Yes, now it's pure history. Anybody that is doing anything creative should buy every copy of Mina. It's a collector's piece.
That's the word. You know? Also, I'm thinking, it's also come to my mind because of, based on the economy and how you mentioned, how the economy is affecting creatives and a whole lot of, now in this climate, in this part of the world, how people, how government policies can come in and change things. How do you advise creatives to go around it when it looks like you are running, they are chasing after you, and whatever you are trying to do, it's as though they are putting off the power.
We need to transcend the geography. We need to transcend the geography.
How?
What's holding us down is the geography that is the borders of Nigeria. We need to transcend the borders of Nigeria.
How?
You say?
How?
You need to jackpot. Listen, you need to jackpot economically without jackpotting physically.
Break it down.
Okay. So if, for instance, I create such a huge quality of work that I'm in demand in Ghana, I'm in demand in Cameroon, I'm in demand in Togo, Benin Republic, Niger, South Africa, Gambia. I'm earning dollars. I don't need to relocate. I don't know if you understand. Earlier this year, I had some clients, they came in straight from Benin Republic, We did a $50,000 shoot.
Wow.
Paid the money into my account.
In dollars.
I don't need to. I don't know if you understand. So I'm looking at it, I say, maybe that's the way forward. Our work is digital. It can reach anybody, anywhere. I can do an editorial for a fashion brand that is in New York and shoot street style for them. All they need to do is to DHL their clothes. We do our model casting here. I do their shoot. They have their editorial on the streets of Lagos. Lagos that is the source of Davido, Burna Boy, Wizkid. The world is mystified of this place. We're in a good place, bro.
That means not physical relocation. You don't advise physical relocation.
What are you going there? You can't be paying tax in our person's country. Anyway, that's for me before we start controversy.
Yeah, but some people will tell you the environment, insecurity, and a whole lot that is chasing people out of the country, you know, like brain drain. And when
do you know how many people get killed in New York? Can you just check? Let's check the statistics and check the statistics of how many people that get killed in Lagos.
It may not be in Lagos alone.
That's what I'm telling you now. Even the number of people that get killed in Kaduna and Zamfara. Just check the statistics and compare it. Compare the number of people that get killed in Johannesburg and the number of people that killed in Zamfara State or Imo State or Port Harcourt. You find out that you're dealing with perception, bro.
Seriously.
You're dealing with propaganda.
This is highly controversial.
Not safe. Place that you'll be walking and somebody's walking, you look at them, so what you looking at? What you looking at? When you have argument with somebody, a red light, green light, bring a gun and shoot you in the head. It's not about safety. Yes.
Not about safety.
Things are tough. Yeah.
You don't think things are easier there than here?
No, not easier anywhere in the world.
Seriously?
Yes. There's something that happens to you when you relocate. You become you're a fish out of water, or you're just a guy that been thrown in the middle of the ocean. Swim or sink. You don't know anybody, so nobody to distract you.
What do you talk about their infrastructure and their infrastructure?
I say nobody to distract you. You work, you're living. Those infrastructure, you think they got it for free? 40% tax, 20-something% tax. Where we are shouting about electricity, go and put on light in somebody's house there. Or put on heater. And they show you. Throw you out. It's like this. So when you travel, when you become an immigrant, you have to work harder. There's less distraction. There is nobody to hang out with. There's no distraction. You'll be working. For that say they want to go on holiday, you work harder. You will be promoted. I don't know if you understand. All you need here is to apply that same energy that you would have applied. But while you're here, you're surrounded by pessimism. Oh, Nigeria is bad. Politicians are corrupt. They're this, they're that.
Is that not actually the fact?
The fact is that it is in your head. That you cannot
inflation, everything that's
what I'm saying
is in your head.
But no, what I mean is, it is there. But it is preventing you from working.
Okay.
Your perception of a bleak future prevents you from investing. When you find yourself in London and you have to pay £1,000 a month for your rent, meanwhile, how much are you earning? £1,000 converted to Naira. That's 2-point-something million.
But they're earning it there.
That's what I'm telling you now. You may be earning it. How much are you paying in tax? How much are you paying in this? How much are you paying in that? You understand? How much time are you spending in that? What is the quality of life that you really have? Who are your friends? What type of, so it's a different, it's come see, come sad. That's what I'm saying.
Many companies are shutting down, closing, leaving Nigeria here.
Yes.
So how do you then?
Yes. I know. But I'm also saying that while the economy seems to be going down, you are still here with 200 and something million people, with arable land, uncultivated,
Insecurity has refused
where people need food. If you just scratch that land small, things will start growing.
Insecurity has refused to allow people to go to their farm.
That's what I'm telling you now. If you look at only the disadvantages, then you cannot even invest. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Okay.
It's a perception thing. Right now, I see something really bad. I don't know what's going on. I mean, all these multinationals, packing up. It's a very, very dark
That is it.
and scary
season.
Kind of situation. But, even in those dark and scary situations, those who can look will see where the opportunities lie. Because as me and you were talking here, the richest black man on earth is a local guy here, selling cement and sugar and all sorts of things. Still the richest black man on this earth. That has something to say to me. I don't know if you understand. As me and you were here talking about the country going bad, go to the nightclubs this night and see those 4 million naira tables.
Honestly.
Guys are splurging. I don't know if you understand.
And it's true.
The money is there, but it's flowing in different hands. So,
how do you position yourself to catch it?
my brother, while you're there complaining, there are people are chopping. They're not necessarily criminals. I'm telling you, I went to a shop the other day. I was looking at the price on those clothes. I'm like, what the? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 pounds. So young people coming there buying clothes up and down. I'm like, who are these people? I don't know if you understand. So while you're there complaining and trying to japa, some people are doing reverse japa back. I'm telling you. I opened my Instagram because I've been training my social media to teach me good things. So I avoid unnecessary entertainment. Anything that says somebody shaking bomb or things, I just
avoid it.
I don't click on it. I only keep clicking on
What
motivational talk, business talk. So
your feed.
If you open my feed, you just see also exercise. 80-year-old people doing 20 to 50 press-ups. That's what my timeline is full of. Anyway, and this guy talking about poultry. They set up poultry. If you see this automated poultry farm, everything, solar panels everywhere. Do you understand? Harvesting, the thing is taking the feces of the chicken automatically, converting it to manure, bagging it, collecting the egg, putting it in crate, stacking it. Do you understand? Fully automated. I don't know how many thousand eggs per hour in this Nigeria.
Now, let's come back to our photography and our art.
So, I'm just saying that it's a double-edged sword. But I see that, yeah, I mean, we have political issues and all that. I don't like to get into those things. It's too contentious. Nigeria is complicated, you know. I want our people to wake up. Our people should wake up. Our people should stop complaining. Complaining blinds you to opportunities. No matter how bad things are, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. When you look through history and you look at America, United States of America. I mean, if you look at their history, look at the Wild Wild West days, man. It was mad. Someone just enter town, shoot everybody, kill sheriff, kill everybody, stay there and become the Lord and Master of the... It was so hopeless in those days. I don't know if you get what I mean. Meanwhile, they ran away from their poverty in Ireland and England to come to that, mad place. If you now look at the history of China, for instance, just 70 years ago, the poverty that was in China, they touch them all. Starvation. That time, China was synonymous with starvation now. Poor Chinese people. Billions of them. Poor. These guys, within 70 years, turned that place to a paradise.
What is stopping us from doing it here?
No, what is stopping us is not complicated. I know what our problem is. I'm just waiting for us to suffer enough. Yes, now.
Waiting for us to suffer enough?
Yeah, we haven't suffered enough.
Why do you say so?
No, we haven't suffered enough. Nigerians are still... we have a middle class that is waiting for their turn to chop. Do you understand? While they're waiting for their turn, they are being turned into abject poverty. Do you understand? So not enough of the middle class has disappeared for them to have sense. Because that's still they're talking about Igbo outside Yoruba. It's a joke. Anybody talking that stuff is waiting for his turn to chop. I don't know if you understand. Why should the Hausa man is your brother. Igbo man is your brother. Yoruba man is your brother. They're all citizens. They're all bearing the same passport. Why should you discriminate against any of them? They're all suffering the same thing. I don't know if you understand. But because we can't come together, the politicians would always ride us. It's as simple as that. Once Nigerians can't come together, the people will have their... You see a criminal that has been caught. People are supposed to say, put this guy in jail. His village people will be shouting, carry placard that the man should be released.
And it's true.
Even the ones that have been jailed, when they come back, are given a hero's welcome. So, those people giving a hero's welcome, what mouth do they have to complain that they are corrupt politicians chopping their money at Asorok? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Are we going to ever come together?
I don't believe in doomsday prediction. I'm an optimist. While things are going terribly bad, some things are going our way. You understand? I like to look at the things that are going our way. Burna Boy, Wizkid, Davido, Afrobeat. It's going our way. Those guys have opened up doors. Go through that door. Let's not look at corrupt politicians.
Okay.
And tribalism.
And tribalism.
It doesn't, if I looked at those things, I would have given up on Lagos. I don't know if you get what I mean. Yeah. The time I came to Lagos, there were still people. Like 1993. How many years? Over 30 years now. There are people who were telling me, you cannot succeed in this town. Oh. As an Igbo man, I say, are you okay? Are you making sense? I don't know if you understand. Nigerians, Nigerians cannot discriminate against you when you are producing quality stuff. You think Wizkid will release music, Igbo people say they won't dance to it because he's a Yoruba boy. Are you okay? I don't know if you understand.
True.
Fino will be singing, Flavor will come and drop party. Yoruba women go just dance anyhow. Are you okay? They'll say they won't dance to him because he's an Igbo, he's singing in Igbo. Are you okay? That's I'm telling you, there are powerful things that can unite us. Let us look at them. Are you getting me?
That's true.
I remember when Olamide and Fino were doing collabo now. Igbo people will be asking Yoruba people, what's Olamide saying? When we're asking Igbo people, what's Fino saying in this song? By force, so everybody they learn Igbo, they learn Yoruba.
True.
Beautiful.
Let's come back to our if Nigeria has its issues, there will be a way around it. Whatever the challenge be, there will
we must just look forward
around it.
Because if we start looking, if we despair, the universe is very interesting. it will listen to you. It will bring to life your fears. Yes.
That's true. Now, when it comes to collaboration and partnership in your arts, in creative industry, how do you go about forming the right collaboration and partnerships that to enhance your work or to enhance your success?
What can I do? It's something I always do. If you look at these pictures, I was just the one taking the picture. I'm constantly collaborating. There are stylists that put these clothes together. There are people who even bring the concept up. Sometimes it's not me that does it. You understand? It's full of collaborations. I'm always working with a team of creatives, sometimes. So, yeah, I'm always in a state of collaboration with, other creatives to make things. They say if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far,
go with others.
Go with people. So it's my mantra.
Now, as I want us to begin to wind down, and one of the things I want to ask is, how do you go about mentoring and giving back to your community or to other creative artists?
Yeah, at the time I was thinking about starting an academy and teaching people. But I found out that in itself is another job. It's a full-time job.
Another job, that's true.
So if I say I'm now going to be teaching, then I'm no longer a photographer. I'm now a teacher, teaching people about photographs I took. And I say, but I haven't finished creating now, bros. Do you understand? There's still a lot of fight in this horse. So what I do is I make behind-the-scenes videos of my work. And I don't use long lens. I use a wide-angle lens. They see all my lighting, see everything. And I put it on social media. Those who are advanced will just look, just rewind, look at it again. Okay, see where I put lights. Okay, we don't thief that one. I've already taught them my stuff. Those who want to learn. The lazy ones are waiting for workshop.
I wait.
Then I'll charge them money and teach them what I've already revealed.
And it's true. And it has to come from your smartness.
So I do believe that the strongest thing that I can give to society is my strongest point. If I now leave my strongest point, I say I now want to be a teacher. That means I've retired from creating.
And it could go hand in hand.
That's what I'm already doing. Hand in hand. I teach digitally. I do tutorials on my YouTube. You'll see some of them if you go there.
Okay.
On my YouTube channel. Yeah. I like to do them well. So it's not just talking head. It has to be illustrated. It's quite tedious,
Apart from many other risks that you have embarked on, is there a particular singular risk that you say you took with a kind of fear, but at the end of the day it paid off for you?
I don't know. Risk? Every creative endeavor is a risk in itself. So we've learned to manage fear. I don't know how to put it. Mania was a bloody, it's a crazy risk. I didn't do like market survey to know whether I was going to make money out of it. We just started it. You understand? And it paid off big time, as far as I'm concerned. But there's always a fear at the pit of your stomach. If you don't have that fear, then you're not human. There's always a little doubt. Maybe it will work, maybe it will not work. But I don't let it overwhelm me and petrify me. I say, but it is going to work. And then move ahead.
And that's true.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to your creative works that you do and how you put them out there, when you do creative works and you put them, or when clients reach out to you for you to do any form of creative work and give to them, do you look at it with the lens of the fact that that work can also become an art out there in the hands of other people, or you just look at it in the form of the fact that you're just serving a particular client on that particular work?
Everything that one brings out, you need to make it something powerful, if you can. You understand? If what client is demanding for you brings down your quality, you may have to decline, if possible. You understand? So what I do is I put in my best, and I advise the client in a way to push them towards getting a more artistic, more powerful product. But at the same time, you have to also bend to their, some of their marketing strategies or whatever. But find a way to keep it. So it's just to strike a balance.
Okay, strike a balance. Because sometimes when you are already in a particular niche or field of endeavor and you're a style of photography, and a client reached out to you, willing to pay you your fee, but in a style that you want, that may deviate a little bit from your style or what you usually do. What do you do?
If they tell me to mimic the style of a particular photographer, for instance, I will tell them to go to that photographer.
Seriously?
Yes, I will.
Even if they're offering you your fee?
No, it's not my fee. If what you want is for me to shoot like another photographer, go to that photographer now. It's not my market. I don't know if you get what I mean. It deviates from who I am. That's what I want people to buy. That's me becoming that craftsman I'm talking about. You understand? So if it's so much like, I'm saying this is a better way to go, but you say, no, it must be like this particular photographer. You have to go to that photographer.
It could be like a mood board.
Mood board, mood board is beautiful now. But I'll tell you that this is how I think it will come out better.
Okay.
This is how it will come out better. That's why you're coming to me. Your mood board is just to show me where your mind is going, but this is how I'm going to do it. That's why you're coming to me. At this stage in our career, we've earned that level. People come to us because they trust our aesthetics.
Yes.
But if you don't, then you're in the wrong place. What are you doing? Why are you coming to me and dropping money when you already know what you want to do? Then
That's
you
true.
should go and do it.
Go and do it. Are there projects that you think currently that it's something that you wish or you are aspiring to capture or to photograph that you are dreaming about?
I don't know. I'm looking more at cinematography these days. That's what I'm a bit excited about. Photography is nice, but I get bored. I've done so many things, So cinematography is a little more challenging. It has too many facets that I don't know anything about. I'm learning about. So it's throwing me a bigger challenge. You understand? So I'm learning again. So that's how I always do. I try to transition into something I don't know. And the excitement of knowing. And that is also what I believe makes me unique, because I take a pool of knowledge that I have from somewhere and add another pool of knowledge. That makes me different from the crowd. You understand? Instead of sticking to the same knowledge. I started painting, got very well at it, did very well at it, and then added photography to my painting. And that combination of photography and painting created something very unique. Now that I'm adding cinematography, it's becoming even crazier. I don't know if you get what I mean. Yeah, so it's evolution, bro.
Have you experienced clients rejecting your work?
Of course.
As in you're done shooting?
Yes.
Only for you one day, and you have submitted the client and they rejected it. How do you handle it?
Why? You see, one of the things that artists have when they have excelled in their art to some extent, they start to develop what is called God complex.
God complex?
Yes. It's a situation where because you create from nothing, you develop a very inflated ego. Because you become a superstar creator, you also develop a very inflated ego. And you refuse to listen to people, especially when you fail. And then you become that king that nobody would tell anything bad. You start walking naked in a parade because nobody would dare tell you that you're naked. You understand? So you should never put yourself in that situation. If a client gives you instruction, there may be a communication gap, or you may have a flaw. You may think you're perfect, but you're not. So if something like that happens, find out what happened. Find out the source of the problem. If it is a clear miscommunication or a mistake on your part, you take responsibility. You understand? If it is something that cannot be reshot, you have to make restitution immediately and apologize profusely. And then, you know, offer to do a shoot for free to the client. Find a way to maintain the trust. You see, everything about the business is trust. That's the only way you succeed. That people trust that if they give you their money, they will never lose. That's the secret of upfront payment now. That nothing, this guy has so much integrity that they will never lose. They will always win. He will either over-deliver or he will make sure you don't lose your money. You know, that kind of thing. Yes. Integrity is everything. So if there's a miscommunication, then it will be resolved. You understand? You know?
What is the miscommunication is the fact that you are telling the client that this is good work. In your own eyes, is good work. But the client is saying, no, I'm not feeling this. I'm not liking this.
That is what you should resolve before shooting. That's why when you ask me how I deal with clients, I need to find out what they want. I don't know if you understand. If perchance you did not find that out and you did not specify it, and you finish doing what you want and they reject it, it is your fault, not theirs. You fell into that trap. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Okay.
So if you come to me and say, Kelechi, do me a fantastic photo shoot of my shop. I want it to be very creative. You say the person, don't worry now. I know what I'm going to do. You then do a very, from your own creative shot of putting spotlights on all the important places and making everywhere dark and having a nice sunset and all that. The one the video say, my shop is looking dark. What's all this? I hate it.
And it's true.
I don't know if you understand.
Yes.
You're like, this is the way they shoot Louis Vuitton shop in Paris. This is the new way they're doing it. They say, but my shop is supposed to be bright and white. I have light there. Why are you making it dark?
It's true.
I don't know if you understand. Trouble. It is your fault. Because you should have showed him, see the way I'm going to shoot your shop. I'm going to make it dark. And this is why I want to make it dark. So that the objects inside the shop are king. You explain it to him. If he does not buy it, I say, just make it like super wide. That's okay, good. You want a high key thing? I know what I'm going to do. For that, see the angle I'm now going to take. Do you understand?
And it's true.
But if you don't communicate with that client, because when I saw you say, Kelechi, you say do what you like, or you know you're very creative. Not be you.
Not be you.
Say,
yes.
It's a trap. I don't do it.
That's very true. I trust your work.
I don't do it. I say, you know what? When you say I trust myself, I'm going to give you a mood board, which you will approve. Okay? You know, don't rush me. There should be a mood board. If you're rushing me, then there's a problem. If you say we must do it tomorrow, please see what I'll work and send you. This is what I do. Do you approve of this? If you approve of it, then there's no communication problem. I don't know if you understand.
True. Wow, this is exceptional. Now, I remember that I think there was one interview you granted or you saw that you talked about the fact that a client paid you a certain amount of money that you were not expecting or anticipating. How did it happen? Was that like a turning point for that changed your pricing strategy?
I'm trying to remember this interview and what client. I'm sorry,
some years ago, it's a very old interview.
I can't recall. There are too many.
Yes, I know. But that moment where the client paid you what maybe you were not actually anticipating for your work, and it became a turning point in your pricing.
It happens from time to time. You understand? Sometimes you also say, you know what? I don't know. My price is too low. I need to take it higher, and you know, you just double your price. And the next client that comes, you give them the price, and they're like, okay. I'm like, this is what I was talking about. This is the price I should be charging. You understand? You know, you now double that one again. And that client say, it's all right. Do you want it in cash or do you want us to transfer the money to your account? You know, so it all depends. You know, it happens from time to time, but you have to gauge the market and know what people are willing to pay for your work. And also find ways to make it worth their while. It's not really about charging hefty amounts of money. It's what you're charging worth it. You know, for me, it's important if somebody is paying me 5 million naira, I want to give him 8 million naira worth of satisfaction. And that way they'll be like, you know, I like that when they say the guy is expensive, but his work is fantastic. I like that description.
And that's true. Now, aside photography, art, and all the other things that you engage in or that you do commercially?
Commercially?
Yes, sir.
No other thing. I don't engage in any other commercial activity. There are no other commercial. It's a distraction. I don't believe in these multiple streams of income. I don't know what that means. So I'll now be doing this one. Then maybe I'll have a shop in Alaba and I'll be selling
spare parts.
Or I'll now be building house and selling house in Ojota. You know, I mean, I believe in focus, yeah.
Okay, yeah. But there are other things that you do based on just hobby and things you like to do.
These days, I'm getting obsessed with health, just being healthy and exercise and things. I'm beginning to realize that, you know, you need to really take care of yourself. Once you're past 50, you start to realize that, yeah, you have to be more careful. You have to be more deliberate with your health. You know, weight training, working at the gym, and things like that have to be a priority. And diet, most of all, I found out that a lot of things we eat just kill us gradually. So I'm becoming a bit of a health freak right now. I'm enjoying it. I like to be in control. You know, that's the secret of longevity anyway. You know, yes, it's what we eat and what we are doing.
Now, lastly, in this era now, there are lots of beautiful photographers that are out there, like you mentioned, Emmanuel and others. How have you seen the works of many photographers that are coming up these days and what they are doing to enhance the work?
I'm super proud of young photographers. There's a whole generation of super talented young people doing great things. I'm proud of them. We need to create a platform to celebrate these photographers, you know, and also, yeah, and acknowledge them. You know, a lot of these artists, they're not very sure, you know, that what they're doing is that fantastic. Sometimes you need to give them an award. You need to give them a pat on the back from the older folks. I think we need to find a more formal environment to acknowledge them. You know, when you call somebody and say, see this guy right here, the guy is a champion. He will work 2 times harder. Because you see, collectively, we win.
True.
It's good for the world to say, there's something happening in one small town in West Africa. You go there, you won't believe what you will see with the photography. You'll be surprised. Work will be coming from abroad, not for one person, but it will trickle down the whole value chain. It happens like that. Photographers in Australia, the ones in Japan, badass.
I mean, there should be like a union of photographers.
We're working on it. For the mass photographers, there's a last span. They have an organization, 6,000 photographers strong. You know, they've been there. You know, but the more elite, you know, guys doing a lot of high-end creative stuff don't have an association. But we're working on it. There are some meetings we want to do and see how we can coordinate that nationwide.
Excellent. Now, on a final note, what advice, lastly, again, do you have to just share with creatives and other photographers and other people doing any creative work or in the creative industry?
What I would say is, you know, like somebody said, you know, passion is not enough. You've got to do the business of whatever you're doing. Study the business. Study business ethics. It applies to your business, just like any other business. You understand? But the creative work is not a factory where you have one formula and you just be advertising the same thing. I'm sorry, you will not succeed. You need to be in a constant state of creating, evolving, changing, bringing out new ideas. And you have to be a student forever. And most of all, I say again, be yourself.
And on that note, we'll bring this to a round up. And it's my guest, Kelechi Amadi-Obi. Thank you very much, sir, for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your words of wisdom. So, guys, you've heard from my very erudite luminary here, Kelechi Amadi-Obi, with all his wisdom, knowledge, and everything that he has shared here. I believe that you're highly impacted as a creative. If it's your first time coming to this channel, do well to hit the subscribe button, share this video with other creatives that this is going to help. Don't forget to hit the like button so that Godwin can share this video to others to also benefit from this wealth of knowledge. I believe many of you already know Kelechi Amadi and how other ways you can be able to reach out to him. But maybe in case you'd like to share how maybe they can be able to reach out to you and other ways people can get to you.
DM me on Instagram, Kelechi Amadi-Obi. You can also on Twitter, Kelechi Amadi-Obi, on Facebook, Kelechi Amadi-Obi. And you can send me a mail, kelechiamadi-1@yahoo.com.
Kelechi Amadi-Obi1@yahoo.com. So with that way, you can get to him. I remain Benzik, and I believe that this episode has helped you. And if this has helped you, also thank our guest once again, Kelechi Amadi-Obi. And I'm going to see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Cheers.